Welcome back everyone, my name is LastKnownMeal and today we are going to talk about Titanfall as a franchise. So I've been thinking about Titanfall a lot. I've been thinking about making this video for a very long time because I want to discuss Titanfall as a franchise, as a video game, as a multiplayer video game, because even though you have multiplayer games like Call of Duty and Battlefield and Rainbow Six Siege and Counter-Strike and a bunch of other games, people don't really talk a lot about Titanfall. It's almost like that game never really found its place on the marketplace. Yes, I know that people are playing Titanfall, but at the same time, not as much as the other games. Even though Titanfall 2 is an amazing game. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's one of the good games that came out in 2016 because I believe that Titanfall 2 has one great campaign. And honestly, I've been playing that campaign and it's something different because you have levels that are not that standard linear experience, even though the game is linear, it's not open world. The levels that you're playing through offer something new. They offer this revolutionary way of thinking. Like, the level changes, it shifts, it becomes different and you have to adapt. And then of course using BT and that kind of stuff gives you more perspectives on the single player as it is. Then the dialogue between the pilot and BT is hilarious, it's great, it's amazing.
Nice. Maybe next time you can throw me.
Noted.
I just remember when Titanfall 1 came out. It was something different. You were a pilot, you had a Titan, you could go in it, shoot people, shoot other Titans. It was great. But, you know, the game didn't have much and soon it became boring for a lot of people and they just went back to other multiplayer games like Call of Duty and Battlefield. But even though I thought, okay, Titanfall 2 is coming out, it's gonna be better, it still didn't click. Yes, there is more players now playing Titanfall 2 than, you know, people play Titanfall 1, but it didn't click that much. And I have a couple of reasons why is that. Now, I think the biggest reason, number one, why Titanfall as a franchise did not succeed as the other games, as the other multiplayer games, is because you have two major games fighting each other every single year. Call of Duty and Battlefield. Every single goddamn year you see so many videos, so many topics, so many articles regarding those two games and what they offer. Then you see about Titanfall 2, for example. This year, in 2016, there was a major marketing campaign by EA when it comes to Battlefield 1. Everything was Battlefield 1. They had live streams, shows regarding Battlefield 1. Because, you know, it's a different game, it's World War 1, and of course they're going to market the shit out of that game. And on this side you have Call of Duty that, you know, what happened with the first trailer, it was a bad fucking trailer, it was so lousy edited. But still, you know, Call of Duty is a game with huge community, same as Battlefield. And I'm not leaning towards any games whatsoever, I never lean towards a game. I always say the worst and the best from every video game. Even though Battlefield 1 this year is better, it's a better multiplayer experience, I don't think it's still a perfect game. It's a good game, not a perfect game. But on the other side you have Call of Duty, which is also an enjoyable experience, even though, I mean, it's not the worst Call of Duty, it's decent. But all in all, you have two games, those two games fighting each other, and then in the middle you have Titanfall. And I look at, you know, I look at it like this, like a metaphor. You have open battlefield. On one side you have Call of Duty, on the other side you have Battlefield. In the middle you have Titanfall, which is like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? Where do I go? What do I do? What's going on? I have two communities going off on each other, and here I am in the middle trying to find my own place. And at the same time, EA made a huge mistake not marketing this game as much as they marketed, Battlefield 1. I mean, if you compare those two games, more people heard about Battlefield 1 than Titanfall 2. Because EA was marketing that game all over the place. And honestly, when you look at those two games, people think like this, Titanfall 2 is my second choice. It's not my first choice. I'm not going to say, oh, I don't want to buy Battlefield 1, I'm gonna buy Titanfall. Yes, I know that some people did say that. I'm not saying that you should love one game and don't think about the other, because there are gamers out there that play both Call of Duty and Battlefield and Titanfall. But if you honestly look at it, Titanfall 2 was a plan B. It wasn't plan A. Plan A was Battlefield 1. Titanfall 2 was a plan B. And that's one of the reasons it didn't click. It didn't succeed. Because it was your number 2 choice. Let's be honest. Now, at the same time, the release date. I believe Titanfall 2 came out on 28th of October 2016. I could be wrong. At that same time, in that part of the year, you have Call of Duty and you have Battlefield coming out. Two major games coming out, and then you have Titanfall 2. And even though it's a great game, it's because of those two games it just didn't find its purpose. It didn't find its place on the marketplace. And yes, I know that people play Titanfall. When I look at the servers, it's easy to find players and people play it still. It's an enjoyable experience because single player is great. That interaction between the pilot and the BT is hilarious, it's great. You have multiplayer, which is such an interesting thing. It's fun, it's enjoyable, but still didn't find its place. I believe that if it had a different release date, far away from Call of Duty and Battlefield, I think it would have more players playing it. Because you have people that work but can't afford every single game that comes out, because we have to face it, there's a lot of games coming out. And those 3 games are not the only 3 games that are coming out, you have a bunch of other games. So people say, okay, I can buy 3 games. I can buy Battlefield, I can buy Call of Duty, or I could go with Titanfall. Because honestly, when you look at it, games are not sold like before. You pay $60 and that's it. Now you have premium, deluxe, this edition, so you basically end up paying $120 for a game, double the money. Of course you can go with standard edition, but here you get prizes, you get season pass, you get DLCs, oh my god. So if someone spends $120 on a video game, for example Battlefield or Call of Duty, I don't think they're going to go and buy another multiplayer game because, it's a huge amount of money for some people. So, to be frank, that's one of the reasons why Titanfall never found its place with the gamers. It just didn't click. And I'm sad because it's a great game. So honestly, I do believe that in the future, Titanfall is gonna get more players. It's just up to them if they create, if they expand on the game even more. I believe that this game could eventually succeed. It takes time to find its place on the marketplace. It takes time, but maybe it's gonna find its place, maybe it's not. But as long as you have those two games fighting each other, as long as you have an EA as a company producing Battlefield 1, and then on the side you have like Titanfall 2 is like a side chick. It's good to have her, but you always think about your number 1, about, Battlefield. Titanfall 2 is like a side chick. So in the end, I believe it's gonna find its place, but as long as we have those two games competing each other, Titanfall 2 is gonna have, Titanfall as a franchise is gonna have a very hard time. So if you wanna go and try out a multiplayer experience, I recommend trying out Titanfall 2. It's a good game. No, I'm not being paid to say this, but it's a decent game. It's a fun game, and I recommend I'm getting it, trying it out. You can always return it if you don't want it, so simple as that. And that's it. Don't forget to tell me down below in the comments what you think about this, and also don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. I'm sorry that this video, you know, turned out to be very long, but you know, I had to say this. It was a rant video and I'm sorry. So that's it. LastKnownMeal signing out, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye bye.